The parent-school debate of TikTok seems to be a pretty hot topic right now. So today we're going to review all the different parts of the debate. We haven't seen any of these videos yet, so we're excited to watch them with you guys. And then we're going to talk about some ways that you as a parent can save money buying your kids' school supplies and clothes and whatever they need for the school year. We'll also give our opinions either way.
I was looking at the school supply list that you guys gave my son, Vato, and I think you guys gave him the wrong one.
What do you mean, Mr. Bedoya?
Pues yeah, it says 4 hole punchers.
Uh-huh.
A 30 pack of Kleenex, brand Kleenex. Hola verga, why so much Kleenex, Mr. Gonzalez?
Sir, because they get sick, sir, so we need a lot of Kleenex, that's why.
Okay, Vato, what about 30 glue sticks? ¿Se los van a comer o qué?
No, sir, it's because when they do projects, we want everyone to at least have one.
Okay, Vato. A Stanley Cup?
Yes, sir, that's part of the school supply list.
A Netflix password? Vato, this is not the school supply list. This is a list for you.
No, sir, that's the school supply list. That's the
Vato, this is not a fucking... Vato, 4 brand new tires, Vato, neta. My fucking kid's in pre-K. What the fuck does he need 4 brand new tires for?
No, sir, it's because you never know, sir. I mean, maybe...
You never know, este pendejo. Mr. Gonzalez, look, without due respect, Vato, my son is gonna show up with a backpack, a pencil, and a notebook, and that's it.
No, sir, at least try to bring some of the stuff on the list.
Vato, I'm not gonna bring nothing, güey, no mames.
At least bring the Stanley Cup, sir. I mean, that's how...
Vete la verga, usted, Vato, bring me the Stanley Cup and leave, no mames.
I think that's pretty, it embodies the excessiveness of school supply lists. What do you think?
It's overboard, but it's kind of like how you would feel sometimes when you see some of the things they put on there. You need school supplies, but not to the level of sometimes depending on the school, they do put some outrageous stuff.
All other students with school supplies have the right to dictate how my child has access to her own supplies. And if I choose to label my child's stuff that I, as her parent, purchased, I will see fit. And I will do that.
All the teachers, how about y'all go to some of these back to school events and get some of those free book bags and some of those free pencils and things of that nature for your classroom, and stop asking the parents. Go to some of these events, teachers. I said what I said.
I will go bankrupt. So every single child in a classroom has supplies available to them. If I have to sell something that I have, if I have to do a yard sale, a garage sale, if I have to sell my car, if I have to take out a loan, I will do so. So every single child has supplies in a classroom. All of these parents that come on here to complain about the teachers are asking for supplies that they don't really need, or the teachers asking for supplies that they want to have the kids share in the classroom, are raising kids that are going to be judgmental assholes. And these are also going to be the same people that in a couple of years are going to be in the Facebook groups complaining about their taxes going up because their kids are not even in school anymore, so why should they pay taxes? We should always want to pay taxes into the schools. We should always want to buy school supplies and help kids because we are investing in the future. Because why would you want to live in a world full of dumb, stupid people?
That was a long one.
Yeah.
Okay, next time we can pause in between.
I believe both sides have valid points. I have family that is teachers, and they do go and spend a lot of their own money a lot of times for kids that do not have stuff. So that is a truth. But to a limit, even as parents, when you're struggling to make ends meet, it's hard to buy extra. Like if they made you buy one extra and they did that for every kid, that wouldn't be so bad because then everybody has one extra. If a person really can't do it, then shit, don't make them feel bad about it.
I don't think the teachers should be paying out of pocket, but I also don't agree with the excess list of school supplies. And I worked in a school, so I understand the budgets and how the teachers' supply budget works. And there's definitely ways that, for example, does everybody need a raise every single year that cuts in to the budget, or can we dedicate that money towards supplies? Because if you look at it, even though it's public school, your kids, the schools get X amount of money per kid every year of the thousands. It varies by state, but it's some places, I believe it's up to $20,000 per year they're getting per a kid. Sometimes I wonder, is the money even being allocated correctly? Especially working in a school. And when I was working in my department, I specifically sacrificed some of my department money to buy stuff for the classrooms, like headphones and stuff like that. Okay, those pencils are hella expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe she's saying like, yes, she prefers them, but honestly, we never bought them. If the kids need specific pencils for test taking, the school should be supplying them. Other than that, I'm buying the cheapest.
Yeah. I'm an artist, and those are just, on the pricier ones. I'd rather buy art pencils than buy those.
Jeez, take the art out of everything. Let kids have fun. They're sitting on their butts half the day. Let them squish a squishy. You ever seen those memes where it's like your kid goes into school with a very creative brain and they come out all the same type of person? That's exactly what that TikTok reminds me of. It's like, no, don't be individual. Don't buy whatever. Buy the same exact as everybody else standard.
Yeah,
that sucks.
That seemed like going to like a private school with too much rules. Like, those are very minor things. Fucking the paper works, a pen works. They all do the same thing. You're doing art. Simple things can discourage a kid from wanting to learn, and that's the last thing you would want to do, is be like, oh, you got a hamburger notepad so you cannot participate, or you got to get like, that's lame.
Maybe now that schools are trying to push more community supplies, that's why they want it to be standard.
Regarding the whole school supply thing, I feel like I'm qualified to speak on it because I am mother of 4, and at one point I was a single mom of 3, and I really struggled. And I feel like the biggest issue with these parents who are like, oh, it's not my job, it's not my responsibility to buy for the whole class. No, it's not. But I feel like as a community, we can help those in need. As a kid, I grew up with my aunt who is an educator. One thing that I always noticed was how much she poured into her students out of her own pocket. She loved educating so much. She would take on additional jobs because she wasn't getting paid enough as a teacher. So I would see her.
That is a truth and a sad thing. That's about what my wife was talking about earlier. I think a lot of it is just allocating the money wrong. Like, people that are high up getting too much money.
Yeah, do you see some of these administrators? They make over hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Yeah. Okay? Like, I get that they're a superintendent or some other fancy administrator, principal, but it's like the point of schools, and I'm for people getting paid livable, great wages, but the point of schools is to educate the children. Yeah. So priority number 1 should be, if our classrooms are suffering, if teachers are buying their own supplies, if parents are having to buy community supplies to make up for all of this, something is wrong. That tells me automatically that these people need to take pay cuts.
Yeah, or allocate the money correctly. It's not hard for them to buy a whole bunch of school supplies, especially as a big public school. You get discounts on bulk buying. It's like you can get it cheaper than anybody, out of anybody. You guys can get it the cheapest, but you know what they'll do? Go buy it from the most expensive person and get a cut on the back end.
Yep, from their friend. Or like when I was buying for my department, I never wrote grants before, but then I started finding and writing grants just to be able to do certain things to improve the school. It's like there's things that can be done, but it's like if we're looking at it and we're struggling with buying school supplies to the point where parents and families are buying for the community, then something's wrong. And I'm all for, like, when our kid has a birthday party or something, we would buy stuff for the whole class. We've even bought lunch for the whole class or a team, or like we have a food program where we help the community. Like, we're not against helping the community. That's not my point. The point is, if we're having these issues, something has to change from the inside out.
At what point do we hold people accountable for not taking care of these things that anything a kid should need for school, the school should supply, I believe.
And then they're asking for all these levies. Vote yes on the levy for our school. Vote yes on the levy for our school. Okay, so then you vote yes on a levy for our school year after year after year. So you're paying already increase in property taxes. So you're paying more money into that school above normal of what your taxes already cover per a student. You're paying specifically for that district. And then you're still going and buying community supplies and doing all this X, Y, and Z stuff. And it's like, what? I'm going to vote no on the levy if that's the case. What the heck?
I would see her work the summer schools. I would see how she would invite these kids to her house whenever these kids were having issues at home, whenever these kids were having issues at school, how she would open up her home and her heart to them. And that's the side of being an educator that people don't really think about. They don't think about how much money is being spent in these classrooms out of these teachers' own pockets, but they don't even have enough to survive themselves. So is that our responsibility? No. The school districts should be paying more to the teachers. They should be providing more resources. However, since we failed to elect the right officials into office to make sure these teachers have what we need, then I feel as a community, we should step in and help those kids who are in need. So if that means having to buy an additional set of pencils, cool.
One of the big things I gathered is we need to put the right people in the right places.
We know a principal personally that took a pay cut out of his own personal...
Like his pay, his salary.
His salary to pay for another teacher's salary. Now, those are beyond words. Those are the kind of people we need higher up.
Yeah. Because
if they're willing to sacrifice on that level, then you know that only the kids is
benefiting.
That's all he cares about. And there are people like that. We just got to find them and put them in the right places.
If I have extra money, you're going to get all of that. Because I understand that there is a need and that as a community, as a village, we need to be there for each other. That's just my 2 cents on the whole school supply thing. But who am I?
I agree with a lot of this lady's points. I just super want to stress with this video. Another thing I've seen working at a particular school district is these annual raises that I mentioned before. So the whole year, this particular school was saying, "Oh, we're
short on budget. Our budget's tight. We have to limit spending, limit XYZ, blah blah blah."
And then when it came to annual raises, the administration was pushing to give themselves each administrator a 25% raise.
A 25% raise.
But the whole school year they were saying that
the budget is super tight, and it will be super tight next school year too.
Because they're saving up for that raise.
So I'm all for helping as a community. I get it. But we need to take a closer look at how these administrators are paying themselves and giving themselves raises when we have budget shortfalls.
We got to just start holding people more accountable for their actions. We do not do that. We just be like, oh, the next person. Nah, it doesn't work.
So it starts with us, right? At some point. From a mom that used to write her child's name on every single, I'm talking about every single freaking crayon, okay? And the box. They don't care no more. They do not care, okay? They be still putting that in the community supplies.
Yeah.
Before, it used to all go in your kid's desk. I don't even know if kids have desk cubbies anymore.
I really don't even know.
But before, all your kids' supplies would be in their desk, and then whatever couldn't fit in there was in their cubby hole.
Yeah.
And now I feel like it's just all in a communal locker.
When our son was going to school, it's kind of just in a big old closet. They just threw everything,
Yeah, I started seeing that towards the later years of his school.
And I don't have any problem of how they do it. Just sometimes what they, like the amount they ask for.
Maybe that would be a little bit of a better idea. It's like instead of everybody bringing in excess, maybe you could have one list of what is just for your child, and then a list of stuff that's needed for the whole classroom, like the community supplies, and then have families sign up so that instead of like a heavy burden of everybody bringing everything, you can have families sign up for what they can bring, because you're going to have families that are better, like well off, and they can bring in way more. They might buy the whole list, but then you're going to have families that, you know, they
can't buy anything. They're going to need.
Well, they could probably buy like one or two, but so when they know what's community supplies, like they'll be like, okay, well, I can buy one or two, and that'll relieve their financial burden, but they're still contributing.
Yeah.
Like they can contribute at their level that they're
at
able to.
And if they cannot, then there's plenty extra, because you have people that
will give extra. Like we will go and we'll look for sales and stuff like that, and we would hunt for extra and then just donate it.
Yeah, for sure. Say after the school supply season is over and you'll see everything at Walmart or wherever like dirt cheap, we'll just go scoop up a whole bunch, and then next year you're good.
Yeah, we did that already before. Now that when kids start getting into junior high and high school, their supply list goes from this to like this. But we used to do that too, buy for the next year and buy extra. And then even like our son's friends, when we would see that they needed something, we'd just buy it for them too. And what might be another good alternative idea to community supplies or add on to it is like when you need stuff throughout the year, like when they're doing projects and stuff, just send home papers like, hey, we're doing a project, we need X, Y, and Z as community supplies. Like, I know teachers get classroom budgets, but they are very minimal, very minimal. You'd be surprised. But something maybe to help the community aspect, but a little bit of a easier financial burden to families.
Yeah.
So like spreading it out.
Teacher can take a bullet for your kid. You can donate some school supplies. Have a great day.
Who said a teacher's gonna automatically take a bullet for your child?
A teacher might.
They might, but they're also human. So like, are they that brave?
It really depends.
Do they even like your child to risk their own life? I don't know. You just don't know, because there's so many different personalities.
That's not the best statement, because people act different when a gun or whatever is in their face.
When their life is at stake?
That's the truth.
They're not always going to be like, yeah, I'm a teacher, I'm going to jump in front of this kid. Like, yeah, will there be teachers out there? For sure. Yes. There's always people like that out there.
Always going to be people like that. But to...
Blanket statement that?
Yeah.
No.
I wouldn't. Not in this day and age, no.
Taking a parent's school supplies that they worked hard for, you don't know how many hours they worked to be able to afford that outside of normal bills and groceries, especially in this economy. If you are taking that and putting it without permission into a community bin, you are stealing. There's no way, shape, or form how to word that. I am a server on the weekends when I don't have the kids. And do you know what y'all would do if I decided, because my boss only pays me $2.33 an hour and I work off of tips, that I decided to start writing my tips on there because it's not fair and I have bills to pay too and things to, like, I can't afford my own kids if I don't get tipped. So should I start writing tips every time you come into my restaurant? No, I shouldn't, because that's stealing. But if somebody wants to give me a tip, that's not stealing. That's tipping somebody. When you make a school supply list, you should have what the exact child needs, and that should go to that child and that child only. And then underneath, you should have a portion for extras that you need throughout the school year so that people can willingly feel pass it out. And maybe they don't all give it to you at the beginning of the year.
That's like what we were talking about earlier.
We agree with that. That's a very, very understandable point right there.
For sure. Especially when you're a single parent, when you're working jobs that don't pay well. It's hard to cover that financial burden, especially when it just goes into community supplies versus what your child actually needs or what the kids actually need right now. And then you could even buy the rest later. Like if you could split that cost, that would help so much more.
Yeah, when you're a single parent or struggling, every dollar counts. So it's understandable.
Because school is really expensive. It's one thing if you're asking these parents to donate. You could ask 5 times a year for donations, because some parents might have more money in August and some people might have more money in December. And you could get your donations throughout the year. If you happen to be a teacher in a poor neighborhood, the parents don't got it. They're low income, they're this, they're that. Okay, well, you got 3 months off in the summer. You get 2 days off a week no matter what during the school year, and I get it that you get less than your paycheck so that they can pay you in the summer, or they don't pay you in the summer at all, so you have to get a summer job. I get it, but you get the 3 months off in the summer, and if you know that you are in a predominantly really poor area to where they really can't even afford to buy their own kids school supplies, maybe then you should go to the school supply drives and get some free school supplies for your classroom, or try to figure out different things you can do to where you don't even need that many school supplies. Because I teach my kids all the time at home, and I barely pull the crayons out, barely pull the paper out. You can teach and do things if you have to. You need to adapt to the situation that you're in. Some people are in rich classroom. Now in a rich classroom, parents got plenty of money. You could have one singular parent have a good amount of money or a good amount of savings that could supply the whole classroom.
That's what we said earlier too.
You do have parents like us that buy at the end of the year, so we don't mind giving extra. It all goes back to just the schools allocating money correctly and people in the right positions, making sure the money gets spread out rather than going home and driving their fancy car. And you're an educator, you should be educating the children. That should be the main focus. I think everything pretty much got kind of skewed with all these positions of administrator and all that kind of stuff.
This lady is saying that she's a waitress. She doesn't even work in the schools, and she has thought of this perspective. They can say what they want about her because of her position, but this lady is coming up with real solutions here. We've come up with similar solutions, and we're in totally different realms. There's people that are coming up with better solutions than even the school administrators that get paid big dollars to supposedly direct and lead your schools.
For sure.
So what the heck's going on there?
Where's the leadership?
Or are they just there to do the minimum and collect their paycheck and get an annual raise every year while saying,
yeah, we have to, our budget is short this year, and our budget will be short next year too. But you know what? We need a raise. We can afford that. Approved.
I wasn't going to chime in as a teacher of 10 years and a mom of 3. I wasn't going to do it, but I can't help it. The parallels that I can make to the behavior of these moms bitching about school supplies to their behaviors the rest of the school year, it's almost too easy. You guys are making it too easy. Like, you're absolutely the mom that's going to send me an email the night before your 5-day-long vacation and ask me to prepare a week's worth of work. And then you're pissed when you're met with, no. You're the mom that parks in the fire lane, blocking the traffic for everyone else at drop-off. Have you ever volunteered to go on a field trip? You're the mom that sends 63,412 emails all year with basic questions that have been answered in previous emails 6,000 million times. You ignore the nut allergy signs. You're the mom that sends your kid to school with 5 birthday invitations and then tells your kid to pass them out at lunch. That's who you are. Speaking of lunch, those Takis cost 300% more than a box of fucking crayons. You only care about yourself and your own trials, and we can't stand you. And 100% chance we can't stand your kid, but we love your kid because it's not their fault. You're their parent, and someone has to show them how to do better, so we'll do it.
Yeah, I would not want my kid with this teacher.
Yeah, that lady was obnoxious. She has no clue.
She was just making such wide blanket statements about everything. Because I have an issue with community supplies, she's not even considering any other different perspectives. She's not considering people if they have a hard time financially. She's not considering that, like, maybe her administration should be doing more. It's just crazy. Previous video we watched, that girl was a waitress, and she was coming up with so many different solutions to help people from different backgrounds. This
lady's a teacher, and she's just calling names, and
she's very close-minded.
Yeah, it's not even she's not even giving any solutions, but just buy them crayons. It's like, yeah, some people can't even afford Takis. What are you talking about? It's like you're labeling everybody because you got a couple people. Like, you're a bad person. You're a bad teacher.
You know what, teachers? Since all these parents on here complaining about their kids and these school supply lists, I'm going to tell you do this year, okay? When them motherfucking kids come in your goddamn classroom and they ain't got no paper, you ain't got shit neither. When they ain't got no pen or no pencil to take their motherfucking test, get them bitches a 0. It ain't your job to supply them kids with no motherfucking school supplies. Bitch,
No, it's not your job. It's the school's job.
Yeah.
Kind of in a sense, it is your job because you get a classroom budget to buy stuff for your class. And there should be certain things that are class community supplies, and there are. But teachers should be getting more than they're allocated.
Bitch, I know I came to school and I needed a motherfucking pen. I needed pencils. I needed an extra sheet of paper. And guess who gave them to me? The motherfucking teacher. So, bitch, if your child got a motherfucking 0 on their paper because they didn't have a pen or a pencil to take their motherfucking test and they failed, just know you failed your child, not the teacher.
And a lot of schools don't even use pen and paper anymore. They're basically all on iPads and computers, and they do their homework, their schoolwork, their tests, everything.
That's what confuses me. Why they ask for pen and paper?
When they use it even less than they ever have.
And they don't even use it. They use iPads.
Not the motherfucking child. You bitches want to send these kids to school with empty motherfucking backpacks and they come home with a full bag of motherfucking supplies? You have lost your motherfucking mind. If these teachers tell you to bring the motherfucking iPhone, buy that kid a motherfucking iPhone.
No, we're not buying them.
This guy's on the opposite of the extreme.
This guy.
Weave. Fuck your NFL tickets. Yes, these teachers are asking for markers on the motherfucking board because your heavy-handed ass child keep coming up to the motherfucking board breaking the motherfucking marker. Yes, they
If your child is breaking the marker, I think that, okay, appropriately, they should replace it because that teaches them responsibility.
Yeah.
Asking for cleaning supplies because your nasty ass motherfucking child leaving slob all over the motherfucking desk because he want to sleep in motherfucking class because all he knew was to be up all night on that motherfucking phone. You bought that motherfucker an iPhone 16, but you couldn't buy him no pack of pencils. Yes, the teacher asked you for some box of tissue.
They run good deals at store. You can get free phones, basically. Just sign up for a new plan.
And y'all better be glad that ain't no motherfucker like me over this school shit because the moment you bring your kid to that motherfucking school and they don't have everything they fucking need, but they got Jordans on their motherfucking feet with these tight ass shirts, these sagging ass motherfucking pants, CPS will be knocking at your motherfucking door because bitch, that is child neglect.
2 videos in a row, the people had kind of the same point of view, but this guy's hilarious, so.
This guy's funny.
He makes it a little bit more easier to process, where the other lady was just straight witchy.
She sounded
Hateful.
privileged.
Bitter? Privilege is a good one.
She sounded privileged, in my opinion. Never had, not had.
Yeah.
And it's hard for people that
never had
to even understand or grasp the situation.
First grade school supply list, 4 boxes of clean. I ain't sending you school no 4 boxes of Kleenex. She can kiss my ass. I'm not sending. I know when something for the teacher. Them 4 boxes, 2 of them going to her house. I'm telling you now, ain't no way she need 4 boxes of Kleenex from every student. If it's 20 of y'all in the class and everybody bring 4 boxes, that's 80 boxes of damn Kleenex. Who need 80 boxes of Kleenex? Y'all must finna donate them to Haiti or something. Ain't no damn way 4 boxes of Kleenex. When you get to school, you tell her if she needs some tissue, I see you with a roll. I'm not sending her no 4 boxes to clean it. 7 composition book. What the? Is she all right? Headphone. Shit making my head itch. 12 pack of highlighter. You in the first damn grade. You barely can write in the lines right. And y'all know you can't damn highlight them 12 highlighted them for her. I know when something for the teacher. I'm telling you. Hell no, I give you one of mine. I'm not gonna buy no highlighter. 4 boxes of Ziploc bag. Ain't no damn way. That's for her to bring her sandwiches and stuff. See, I'm telling you, I know what teachers be doing. Them Ziploc bags, them for her to bring her sandwiches and chips to school. Hell no, I'm not taking that. 12 glue sticks. Ain't that much damn glue and projects in the world. 2 6-pack of dry erase markers. Well, damn. What do the school supply the teacher with anything? 4 packs of index cards. I'm tell you what, I'm gonna get some college rule paper, bust that bitch down 8 ways, and then I'm gonna be your index card. I'm not buying no index card.
Yeah.
That one was just funny.
While y'all on here tussling over these community school supplies, I am so thankful to have a group of parents that came through and fully stocked our classroom this year. Our students are ready to go for a full year of learning. Shout out to them.
I guarantee you those kids are not going to use all that stuff.
Yeah, that should last you some years.
Several years. See, they did come through, but what area does she live in, you know? Or does she have parents in her area that like buy during the sales and then do it for next year like we do?
If you can't afford it, then there's ways to budget around it, but not everybody knows even how to do that kind of stuff. Not everyone was taught. They took all the basic necessities of learning how to use coupons and look for discounts, home ec and stuff. They would teach you all those kind of things. And now
they should put those back in schools.
Yeah, big time.
Adulting basics should be a mandatory class in like elementary.
Common sense should be a class.
I'm complaining every year my kids come home at the end of the school year with their school supplies that cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars every year, and you have to go on some crazy magical quest to find the specific colors, the specific amount of papers, the specific ruled, college ruled or wide ruled.
And they'll even tell you specific brands too.
Yeah, that never made sense. I understand what college ruled and all that, but in all honesty, it's not a big thing.
As long as the kid's doing the work, right?
If they're doing the work in writing,
especially nowadays when freaking test scores are down, reading down, English down, math, science, history down, 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 down. So what the hell are these kids even doing in school?
And it's different for each kid with each grade. And then they come home at the end of the school year after we sold our kidney, an arm, and a leg to pay for everything.
Is that why all our scores are down?
Get used like maybe that one else actually used a little bit more. But look at this, is nuts. They don't get used at all, but maybe a handful of times. It really bothers me because it costs so much money.
Tear out the pages, use them again next year.
Like this one got scribbled in.
It's a great thing your kid's name doesn't change.
Yeah. And if their grade's on it, just wipe that out and put the new grade.
That's cute. This could have all fit in one notebook. The amount of times they use these. Yeah, that one had one paper.
And that just proves too is how much they're on the computers and iPads more now. Because when I was going to school, your composition books and all that would be full.
Than a couple of card payments. And they use 2 papers. Gets me right here. Especially hauling all the kids through Walmart to find all this too, and then keep them all straight. 1 page. Does anyone else's kids come home with like nothing used out of their notebooks? And it happens every year. Just from a parent's point of view, it's frustrating.
It's very frustrating. All right, so what do you guys think? What side do you guys pick, huh? What did you end up going with? I think we had a lot of good perspectives in that video. Some just hilarious.
Yeah, some were just funny, but some people had solutions. When they complained, they had a solution. That actually gives you a legitimate complaint. If you can come with a solution, then I like to hear a complaint. If you can come with a solution, no problem. Those are people that are looking to solve problems, not
just gossip or create more. And me personally, like, okay, if we're thinking no community supplies, no school supplies versus school supplies, like that seems to be the debate. I have to lean towards helping overall. Because that's just the type of person I am. I would go a third route, which is we need to do some real digging into where all the funding and all the money is going for schools. Like, I know there's essential things, like they have to pay utilities, electrical, water, maintenance, but there are just things I've seen and I'm just like, it just doesn't really make sense sometimes. And then the kids end up being the ones suffering, and even families, because through our tax dollars, through levies, through even just volunteering, we are helping.
A list of your kids' school supplies, and then
like essentials,
and then a list of stuff that the classroom needs, and then whoever can afford whatever they can and have that list. If you need it more later on in the year, put out another list.
Nothing wrong with sending home multiple lists or project-based lists. Us fighting against each other as parents.
Yeah, it shouldn't be parents versus teachers.
Or parents versus parents, or we gotta go.
What the heck's the school really doing, okay? Where's this money really going?
Administratively.
Because I've seen books the textbooks that kids have had for decades and decades and decades, and everything's all torn and it's all taped up and we're still using that. But people are getting raises? People, I don't know.
Priorities are all messed up. We need people, good people in high positions. That's what's needed.
For sure. So we're going to give you some tips and things to do. One of them is after the school season starts,
off season.
Buy off season.
Yeah.
Like we buy off season in general for things.
For everything we do.
Yeah, and that's how we get stuff way, way, way cheaper. Like 75, 90% off. Once the school year starts and gets rolling, these stores want to clear room off their shelves. Like they are like,
okay, the next holiday we need our crap up there. So we need to clear this space.
And you know you're going to need it the next year. So you might as well
just buy it.
Save yourself the money.
Even if you don't know if you're going to need it. If you have a younger kid, they're going to need it. So just buy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Invest in it and you'll save yourself money.
And then if it ends up being excess, donate it.
Donate
there you go.
Yeah.
Community supplies. Or donate it throughout the school year or something when you can.
Because you can get stuff for pennies.
Pennies. And speaking of pennies and even free, that leads me to like yard sales, garage sales, school supplies stuff. You'll find that in the free boxes. Or you'll find it like, oh, they only want 5 cents, 10 cents, maybe a quarter for stuff.
Take that whole big box for $1.
School supplies, office supplies do not sell well at yard sales, garage sales. But you can take advantage of that and you can use it for good. You can just take your stuff and just donate it then to the school, to the classrooms. Or you can have it for next year. You prepare for your supply list, whatever.
They do have drives. So you as a parent, you don't even have to be a teacher. Because sometimes the teachers do not have time. They have kids. They have their own life, you know.
Yeah.
They don't have to be a teacher
when they're not getting paid
24/7
in the summer. Like, okay, they need to enjoy their summer too.
As a parent, take it upon yourself and go grab some extra stuff.
Share it on, I don't know, your Facebook, your Instagram, your TikTok, your whatever you have, and say, hey, there's a school drive this day, this time. I seen it. Let's go. And that'll solve a lot of problems. These are communities, nonprofits, churches that are going out of their way just to give you free stuff to help.
And I'm sure if you just reached out on Facebook or whatever and just said, oh, you know, this school is short supplies or whatever, people would be donating stuff. Us as a community have to do more on reaching out as a community to each other.
Yeah, reach out to help each other, not reach out just to fight. If we're going to fight, we got to be fighting the same people, okay?
Yeah,
the people at the top.
Not the ones that are just
not us fighting each other at the bottom, okay?
That's what they want. So, you know, don't give them what they want. Give them what they need.
I think that's all the good ways to find stuff for really cheap. You know, that's pretty much how we find stuff in general. If you like these kind of reaction videos, subscribe to our channel. We're going to try to tie them back always to reselling or buying stuff cheap or thrifting. Thought this would be a fun video to do, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. And comment your favorite part and what do you think? Okay, bye!
Thank you.